Welcome, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Yee! And today we are going to be reacting to Mr. Nightmare. This one is called Four Disturbing True Hitchhiking Horror Stories. Damn, this one's going to give me the chills. Yeah, hitchhiking's not great. Yeah, and there's that 27 again. Goes for 27 minutes. I'm seeing the number 27 everywhere. Yeah. And 49. Yeah. Anyway, please subscribe, turn the notification, and click the bell beside you. Anyway, let's jump right on to it, shall we? Okay, give me ice cream. I love my Golden Gate time ice cream. I hope I'm not getting sick again. I get sick really quick. Yeah. Well, hey, let's dive right into this. Mr. Nightmare! Give me the chills. Got my subtitles on.
It was a rainy night. I was driving home from my shift at the late night diner I worked at. It was a quiet shift at work. I had a weird amount of energy still, so I knew I was going to have to pop a melatonin when I got home. I was driving my usual route, a scenic road during the day, but majorly dark at night, lacking many light posts. There's the occasional little parking lot with cute little strips of stores or family-owned restaurants and shops, and then just stretches of nothingness. And by nothingness, I mean forest, obviously. I was passing one of the aforementioned parking lots of a well-known deli, and under a light post was a woman standing out in the rain with her arm held out. She was waving me down. I slowed as I realized it was a slightly older woman who appeared to be in her mid-50s maybe. This woman was really tall, like 5'11" or 6 foot, but very skinny. I lowered my window and yelled, "Do you need a ride?" She came over to the front door and opened it, chanting how much of a hero I am. I asked where she's headed, and she said just up the road to town. She was soaking wet, getting my car all wet. But I like to think of myself as a good person, and I couldn't in good conscience leave another woman out there in the cold rain.
Was she hitchhiking? I couldn't. Having an episode, I forget. Was she hitchhiking? Was he? Yeah. I wouldn't pick her up in my car. I'm not that nice. Some random person you don't know. They could have a knife. They could, be harmed. They could have a gun at you. You just never know. I wouldn't be picking her up, but that's just me.
However, picking up a random man, on the other hand, would be a different story. The woman seemed sweet, but I noticed as I looked at her while talking to her, she was missing a few teeth. Very, very off-putting. I had to now wonder if she were homeless. She didn't smell or look like a homeless person, though. But the rain soaking her and her clothes could have been masking any sense temporarily.
This person's
Plus, her hair
very.
was so wet that what may have usually been scraggly, undone hair could now have been weighted down and straightened by the water. Either way, the woman was smiling the whole time and didn't seem like a threat. We pulled up to an intersection with a gas station on one corner. I pulled in next to a pump. Might as well fill up. I asked her if she wanted anything from inside. I was really doing my good deed for the week. She said no thanks, honey. So I went inside to pay the attendant for gas and some spiked seltzers since tomorrow was the weekend. When I got back to my car, the woman was gone. I looked around the gas station lot real quick, but it was tiny. She was gone. She must have ran off somewhere. I felt slightly bad, feeling like she was some lost, helpless woman. But part of me also felt slightly
Well,
relieved.
no, she's gonna be a
I
ghost or
pulled up the
something.
tank of my SUV. I was on my way home. When I got back to the house, I went straight inside my apartment, which is the first level of a two-family house. There's a tenant upstairs and me. The front door into the foyer was usually left unlocked. Then the two doors leading to each apartment were locked. I let myself in out of the rain and into my apartment. I set the seltzers down on the counter. I wasn't that tired yet, so I took a melatonin and tried to go to bed. Even with the melatonin, though, I was having a hard time sleeping that night. My mind was kind of going wild with thoughts. A lot of thinking about that woman I picked up earlier. What happened to her? At certain points, I heard slight sounds from outside of my bedroom, but I dismissed them sounds from the upstairs tenant. Boy, do I wish I was more suspicious before falling asleep. I woke up in my dark bedroom, something that usually would never happen when I take a melatonin. I usually sleep like a baby through the night. I sat up
Hell
feeling
no.
drowsy, feeling thirsty too. I reached over the table next to my bed for my water, and then I saw and heard something across the room from me. I saw someone crouched in the corner of my bedroom behind a clothing dresser,
Hell
legs folded.
no. Hell no.
I had to be hallucinating it. I shook my head violently and made weird noises. I even slapped myself in the face. And now, whoever was in the corner stood up and walked out of the room. I didn't scream. I didn't say a word. I sat in my bed in literal shock. The part that had me questioning my sanity for a bit after the figure was gone was that there wasn't a single sound from outside the room after this. No footsteps, not the sound of a door closing. I grabbed my phone and called my dad. He picked up, confused why I was calling so late. I told him of what I just saw, and he said, Trish, you probably just had a night terror. I stayed on the phone with him as I was continuing to become more awake, and I left my room and turned on the lights to the living room outside. It was a small space. There was no one in there. I looked around the entire space and could confirm no one was there. I started to believe that maybe I did just hallucinate it, but still, I slept with the bedroom door
That'd be
locked that night.
terrifying.
When I woke up in the morning, I drank some coffee and got dressed for the gym. I went to open the door to the
Go
area
to
and
the gym.
realized it was already unlocked. My heart sank. Last night, what I saw wasn't real. I did another look around the apartment, confirming no one was inside. I went out to my car and
Hell
opened the
no.
back door to put my gym bag in the back seat. And that's when I noticed the damp, yellow, brownish stains all over the floor in the back. And my blanket that I always had back there was gone. I wanted to cry or scream. I figured it out. That woman snuck into the back seat last night when I was in the gas station. She either somehow unlocked the door to my apartment or I mistakenly left it unlocked. I called my dad again, frantically asking him what to do. He said check and make sure nothing was stolen, and if nothing was, then calling the police really wouldn't do anything. I checked the house and didn't find anything to be missing, just my blanket from the car. I skipped the gym that day. In fact, I stayed bottled up in my apartment for a while after that. I was just genuinely disturbed. I didn't want to live there for much longer after that. And so after that
Yeah, I
moment,
don't blame
I
you.
woke up screaming in shock.
Hell no. Sorry, I've been intrigued. I'm forgetting I'm even recording half the time. Hell no. You got me fucked up. Some creepy ass woman just comes up to you, be like, can I catch a ride? Yeah, sure. And like, just like that, you give her a ride. Hell no. Got all of that. Literally.
I need a place to hide.
That one was about
I
eight,
just had to
eight
make
and
a
a half.
decision. And I don't know why I agreed, but I decided to go with my friend Michael to a house party he was attending during our first year of high school. Even though I wasn't even invited, Michael was able to pull some strings, and I accepted the invitation. Knowing that I wouldn't be able to drive, I made the choice to go with Michael. When we arrived at the home late at night, Michael told me to leave my phone in the car. He explained that maybe I could lose it or someone I don't know could try and take it from me while I'm not looking. At first, I was confused. I simply nodded, and we got out of the car. I
Why?
followed Michael into the home or backyard where the
You
party was
just put
taking
in your
place.
front pocket.
I glanced around the backyard and saw people engaging in various activities such as smoking, drinking, and possibly even doing drugs in small groups.
Hell
Michael
no.
then encouraged me to go mingle and say hello to a few people. After a few hours, I realized I had way too much to drink because my vision was completely foggy. After getting closer to the house, I leaned against the wall to support myself. As I did so, I noticed the time on my watch indicated that it was either midnight or 1 in the morning. I knew it was time to leave, so I set out to find Michael, and despite my overwhelming need to collapse, I I scanned the yard for him, but I was unable to locate him or see him. When I asked a few others if they'd seen Michael, they all said they had not. I decided to call Mike to find out where he was, so I reached inside my pocket to feel for my phone, but it wasn't there, and I cursed myself in the back of my mind because I realized that I had left my phone in Michael's car. It disappeared with him. I realized there was only one way to get out.
Yeah, this is why I have my phone with me all the time because of situations like this. Obviously, I don't use it all the time because I try to, go out and do other things instead of just focusing on my phone like a lot of 20-year-olds. Um, but I always have my phone on with me. I never have it turned off like old people. But yeah, yeah, hell no. Not in this situation. Oh, imagine that, and then something else happened. Oh shit.
Because I remembered my house wasn't too far from this house, but the night was chilly as it was fall. I thought about just asking someone else to take me home, and I didn't know anyone else that could help. So I stuck with my idea of walking home in the darkness by myself. And then I got to the road and started stumbling down the street, and I knew I had too many drinks because I felt lightheaded and dizzy. A few minutes later, I made it to the main area of the street and kept walking. I lazily started thinking about a bunch of different things, like why did Michael decide to leave me alone at the party? Or why I decided to listen to Michael's idiotic idea of leaving my phone in his car so I couldn't call him or anyone else.
Oh, it was his car. I'm sorry, I had blanks. His car? Hell no. No, why would you leave it in his car anyway? I wouldn't have left it in. I thought he left it in his car that was at the party. Sorry, I'm zoning out a lot of the time. Oh no, God no. No. I wouldn't be leaving it in a stranger's car. You don't know what their intentions are. I don't know if you're best friends with Michael, but I wouldn't have left my phone in there. He probably has your ID and everything. Probably why. Why would you go into a stranger's place anyway without your phone? Oh,
I
makes no
started cursing
sense.
myself for being so careless with my drinking and even getting drunk, knowing I shouldn't have done that. I stopped walking on the side of the road as I was getting tired, and I crossed my arms over my chest tightly to keep myself warm. And I remembered something I could do, which was hitchhiking, and I then held out my arm and stuck out my thumb, hoping someone else could see me. I watched as a couple cars drove past me. They wouldn't stop, and as minutes ticked by, I started feeling uneasy, thinking I would have to start walking again. It was past 1 in the morning, and there were a few cars driving past me, but no one was stopping because they either didn't notice me or didn't care. I hesitated. I thought about walking home again, but I realized that in my drunken state, it would be too daunting. I was still holding out my thumb when a gray truck pulled up and stopped in front of me, and I smiled as I stumbled towards the vehicle. The window rolled down, and an older looking man with a beard asked me if I needed a ride. I told him yes, and then told him where my house was before getting into the truck. He
You
also
don't know
insisted
this
a ride.
person.
As we started driving down the road,
You are intoxicated and you're going in a car with a truck man, trucker, I don't know. But and you don't know what his intentions are. You don't know that. He could be armed, he could be I would have got an Uber, I would have called wait, you can't call an Uber, obviously. I would have got someone to call an Uber or something. Or call somebody. Or call Michael or something. Like what? This is too suspicious.
the man started trying to make small talk with me, asking what happened to me. I was too disoriented to have an actual conversation with him, and the only things I could manage to say were low mumbles or just murmurs and groans. As we turned the corner to my street away from the party, I started feeling uneasy. For some reason, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was strange about this man. When I told the man that we had just driven past it, and I felt my gut telling me to get out, but I couldn't because I was too drunk to move. I was about to tell the man to let me out before we got too far away from my house, when suddenly the man turned to me, and I noticed he had a sinister look on his face. You know, you shouldn't be drunk while you're hitchhiking because you make a very easy target, the man said, smirking darkly. The man reached over and started rubbing my leg. I didn't know what he was trying to do, but I knew it probably wasn't anything good. But before he could do anything else to me, we both heard a loud siren behind the car, and then a flashing red and blue light flooded the night.
I
I
love
knew
how
it was the police. I
he's
jumped
probably
for joy
gonna.
inside.
Yeah.
The man panicked and stopped, unlocking the doors, which allowed me to jump out of the car. I ran as fast as I could, and the police officer rushed over to me and told him the entire story about what happened to me. Unfortunately, nothing illegal happened per se at that point. The police officer told me that he was looking for someone in a gray truck who had apparently stolen something from the store. I'm not sure if it was the man who picked me up or someone else, but I was just glad the police officer stopped the car. A cop gave me a ride home, and I decided from there on I wouldn't get so drunk that I couldn't think straight. I now know the importance of being responsible and staying aware of my surroundings,
Did you
even
ever
when
get your
having a
phone
good
back?
time.
Yeah, that was sus. I don't know if he ever got his phone back.
I was still in college when this happened. I went to a big party school in upstate New York. I wasn't in a sorority, but I attended a lot of the frat parties still. I had a heavy drinking phase in college, unfortunately, but I guess it's good that I got it out of my system. There was an upcoming frat party that my friends Deanna and Kayla wanted to go to. I was not one to ever say no to a party unless I was already deathly hungover, and even then, I'd sometimes be known to still go out. I was living in a house
I
off
like.
campus with three other girls. We were not a sorority house or team house or anything like
I feel like you can have fun without, getting getting drunk and that. Oh, I didn't give that rating. The other one was probably about 9.5 because I didn't know what that person was intentions were. But yeah, didn't look good. You can have fun without being drunk. I mean, I have fun all the time without being drunk. I don't get me wrong, I love drinking, but you can have fun without drinking. Just saying.
that. Just four friends renting a house together. I believe it was a Kappa Sigma party that we were going to. The house was about 20 minutes away from campus. We pre-gamed pretty heavily at our house, and then we called an Uber, which we all split. On the Uber ride there, we pre-gamed some more, which was a recipe for disaster. By the time we showed up to the party, I was borderline blacked out. I just barely remember the layout of that house. I'd never been to a Kappa party besides that night. It's weird. I have short spans of memory from that night. I vaguely remember the outside, that there were a bunch of frat guys standing out front of the house. And then I remember the DJ in the living room and the two beer pong tables in the kitchen. I was later told that I played beer pong with some random frat guy and ended up talking to him in a corner for a big chunk of the night. But after that, nobody knows where I went. I couldn't even tell you the last thing I remember before waking up sleeping on the grass on the side of the road in a daze. My head was
Fuck's
throbbing.
sake.
I had to still be somewhat intoxicated.
Woo! Mr. Nightmare, your jump scares. Woo! Damn. How can you not remember what happened? Woo! Damn. My heart is beating a couple of miles. Damn. How could he not remember what happened? What? What? Like, what? You just all of a sudden like blacked out, like you were playing ping pong with somebody else, and then walked out, and that was it. And then you woke up in a fit, like on grass, in a field of grass. Get out of here! Come on, what?
It was pitch black outside. I was laying by a bunch of trees, like a wooded area. Apart from the university, there wasn't much up there besides woods and the occasional little town. There were a couple light posts further down the road, so I wasn't just laying in complete darkness. I patted down my pockets looking for my phone, and I had a meltdown when I realized my pockets were empty. I was also missing my crossbody bag. I had absolutely nothing on me. I started to freak out. I couldn't even call for help, let alone check the time or where I was. I looked around the immediate area by where I was sleeping. Nothing. My white shirt was stained with dirt, but that was the least of my worries. I started walking down the road, closer to the light posts. I was starting to realize there were no buildings in sight. I was on some completely random back road. I leaned on the light pole for a few minutes, wondering what to do. Decided I'd wait for someone to pass by and ask for help. It took a long time, though, at least 15 minutes, before I noticed headlights down the road. I stepped out onto the road, waving my arms and jumping, trying to ensure I got their attention. The car slowed to a stop on the side of the road. I approached the car, and the guy inside rolled down the window. Once he asked me if I was all right. I told him I was stranded without a phone and needed a ride home. He told me to get in, and I did, making sure to let him know how much I appreciated it. He, of course, asked me about my predicament, how I found myself stranded on the side of the road. I told him I was at a party, and the next thing I remembered was waking up on the side of the road.
Hell no. You don't know what this person's intention is.
In hindsight, I should not have said any of that. I should have been as vague as possible, not let this guy know that I got completely trashed and was vulnerable. He asked why I didn't call for help, and I told him I lost my cell phone too. The guy looked
Yeah.
at me like I was a moron. I looked back at him for a second, and this was the first time I really analyzed his features. He was like 35. He wasn't the best looking guy. He had a thin goatee and a big nose. I
How do
gave
you
him my
know he was
address to get into
35
his
years old?
house. As he drove, he put the address in, and then I heard him say under his breath, "Okay, here we go." I asked how far away we were. He said about 20 minutes. That sounded about right, since the frat house was about 20 minutes from our house. I thought things
No,
would go
I don't
smoothly.
trust this
I got
person.
dropped off at the house where Kayla and Deanna would be waiting for me with my belongings.
I don't trust this person whatsoever. Hell no. And all of this is happening, like, suspicious. Like, here we go. Here we go. Like, hell no. What was that about? Hey? Come on now.
But nothing can ever go that smoothly. The man spoke in a gentle voice basically the entire time. He was asking basic questions at first. His soft voice was almost in a weird way off putting. Like, why was he talking in an almost whisper in the car? We drove on and on for what seemed like over 20 minutes on the same road. I started to get concerned, and so I asked him how much further we had. He didn't respond right away, so I said, "Sir," and he went, "Hmm?" And I repeated my question. He said in his soft voice, "Not far." This wasn't right. Our house is in town, yet we were still on the same back road with nothing but trees everywhere. I started noticing in my peripheral vision that he would look at me multiple times, like he'd move his whole head to stare at me for a few seconds and then look back at the road. I was starting to feel sick.
Hell no.
I asked him if he put the right address in, and he said yes. Then he said, "What color underwear are you wearing?" As he put his hand on my
Oh,
knee and started
fuck
rubbing.
that. What a pervert. I, hell no. Pervert. I feel like that you've just encountered two perverts in the past, like, two videos. Like, what? The first one was probably like, I don't want to really say it, but, you just escaped it. This one is just very disturbing. Like, very disturbing. Feel bad. I really do feel bad. Feel bad for women. Like, I really, respect women a lot. Um, I think men think they're superior and all that, and I always go like, women should get paid more. Oh, not more, equal. I should say not more. They should get paid equal. They should, have a saying. They should be president. Like what? Not one president is female, and not one prime minister in Australia is female. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Women are just should have just as much power as men. Get the fuck out of here. This bullshit.
My knee. I moved it away and told him in a desperate voice to please not hurt me. I just want to get home safe. He said, "Why would I hurt you?" After saying this, he pulled onto the grass on the side of the road and put the car in park. And he was about to lean over towards me and do something, like put his arms around me, but I didn't let him. I opened the door and ran into the woods. Luckily, I was wearing my Air Force Ones, so I didn't have a hard time running in the woods. I ran only just enough to be out of sight from the car when I could no longer see its headlights. I heard the man for the first time raising his voice, and he yelled into the woods, "Where you at? I just want to your see." I put my hands over my mouth, not only to muffle my breathing, but
Fuck
because of pure
that.
fear. I waited and waited until I heard a car door slam shut and the sound of a car speeding off. I waited a few more moments before walking back to the road, confirming he was gone. I felt truly helpless. I didn't want to run into that man again, but I also needed someone. Listerine has 5 times more someone else to help me. I waited just at the edge of the woods for another car to come, and eventually one did. I saw the headlights approaching from afar, but I waited until I was sure that it was a different car before jumping out and waving my arms and yelling. The car came to a stop. It was another man, this guy a little older. I sat in the back seat this time. I was so shaken up that I hardly spoke, apart from answering whatever questions about my predicament he asked. Thankfully, this man dropped me off at the house. It was like 4 a.m. at this point. My friends were still awake, waiting for me. They had my phone and my bag.
Fuck.
They were contemplating calling the police if I didn't come back by morning. No one had any clue who I left with or how I ended up on the side of the
Yeah,
road.
how did you? That was sus. You kind of left that on a cliff note, like just you just talked about the car, like the guy just suddenly, like, what if he was the one that left you on the side? You don't know that. It's just sus that he just pulled to the side, picked you up. You were just stranded somewhere. Like, where? How'd you get there? It seems like that person that picked you, the first man that picked you up, was in cahoots. Like that in of itself. Like, yeah, there's some strange people out there.
Who I was with claims he wasn't the one to leave with me. In fact, there's no solid proof that I even left with anyone. But that leaves no explanation how I ended up sleeping on the side of the road. I cut back heavily on the drinking after this night, and I never want to be in a situation again where I have to hitchhike.
Hmm.
Out of the dark forest, I was hitchhiking from Leipzig, Germany to Paris. He was a French man, a somewhat dirty and unshaven driver, small and shabby. He agreed to give me a ride in his car from an exhibition I had there. It was October. I was 29 years old, and he seemed about the same age. He spoke broken English. I spoke no French at all. I really didn't have a clue who this guy was. The day was mild, sunny, and blue. It was a warm and comfortable French day, a great day to hitchhike. It was around 4:30 p.m. when I met him at a gas station somewhere in France. I hopped into his little car, happy to have scored a ride. We drove off to Paris on the main highway. After some small talk, mainly about where I'm from, he reached over my lap and opened the glove compartment. He pulled out what looked like a bunch of passports. They were passports. He handed me all four. The first pretty girl was his girlfriend who died falling off the back of his motorcycle, he said. The second, his girlfriend who died in a car crash, he told me. The third girlfriend died from a brain tumor. The fourth fell off of a horse. He said, "I'm such an unlucky man." I agreed he was unlucky. The uneasiness started then, and only grew as the miles rolled on. He was in possession of four young women's passports. Soon after showing me the passports, the man said he wanted to take a shortcut to Paris. It wasn't really a question to me. Excellent, I thought. Get me out of here ASAP. I assumed we would cut through some charming French villages on secondary roads, past houses and farms. But no. Instead, we turned off onto an implausible dirt road off the main highway. Uh-oh, I thought. Not good. But I kept silent. Why we keep quiet is a mystery, perhaps because of our dumb manners. At first, the road was out in the open, through a field. We rolled over the typically vivid green French hillside until we finally reached the oncoming heavy woods. The road narrowed. It grew instantly darker as we entered the forest road and drove in. The interior of the forest was creepy. The woods looked like the perfect place to hide something. I still found the woods beautiful,
Yeah, he's there to
full of
kill
undead
you. He's there to kill you, I think. That's suspicious too. Hell no.
people.
Introducing new conscious care for light bladder leaks. Super soft liners.
It was at this point that my French driver shouted in broken English, "I don't want to speak English anymore." This was definitely not a request. Then silence. Uncomfortable silence in the darkening forest. I started to feel a small trickle of adrenaline in my body. My fight or flight instinct was warming up. Communication had now officially ended. Just silence. I pondered this because I knew I would surely have questions as we would get deeper and deeper into the thickening woods. I knew, though, that I wouldn't ask anything. Nothing. It was now 5 p.m. and
No.
the sun was fading fast. The woods grew darker. The driver seemed so tense, and I could tell he was in deep thought. I noticed his lips moving almost imperceptibly. With rigid,
He's probably planning on killing you, probably. Like his full girlfriends. Spooky! Yeah, no. Can't trust a guy who picks up a hitchhiker. Have you seen that? I don't. I watch YouTube shorts, so it's pretty much similar to TikTok, where the guy's like, "You're the hitchhiker killer. Oh, I'm, and you're the picker upper killer, the one that picks them up." Wow, I love that. That's hilarious. But yeah, that is exactly what that is in this video. That's what you've described this video.
snake-like. I myself had moved my hand to the car door handle, a movement I'm sure could not have been missed. The car was slowing down. I did not say a word. Was I going to die now? Did he have a gun? I looked. All these questions ran through my head. My life was now surreal. This was not my plan. Maybe I communicated with my captor in some secret way. Maybe I gave off some kind of male pheromones perceptible only to men facing off. I possessed my own rage issues, and I was not going down without a fight. That I knew. There would be no begging or cries of mercy from me. Not to this fucker. I also had my own
To
secret
this.
storeroom of crazy. I was big and strong at that time. Road tough through my travels, and there's no substitute for my nothing to lose stare. That is all I gave them. Something very primitive transpired between us then, I think. Rather quickly, in a matter of seconds. It's a sort of inner calculus as to whether one can overcome, stop, or kill the other guy or not, and all its peripheral considerations, not the least blood, gore, strength, and alas, dying. I don't think these calculations are the same when the victim is small and scared, begging and weak. I think between those two uneven people, it just becomes bloodlust, power, panic, scratching, and doom. 5:12 p.m. The car was now moving really, really, really slow. I entered a very strange and new place in myself. I was transformed with very little preparation, transformed into a potential killer myself. Maybe my chauffeur could read my mind or my body
Uh,
language.
are you possessed or something? Like, where's this story heading towards? I transpired into a potential killer. Like, what? Is are you confessing to a to a murder? Like, what? What is going on in this story? What?
In myself, I was transformed with very little
Transformed.
preparation, transformed into a potential killer myself.
What?
Maybe my chauffeur could read my mind or my body language or sense my intent or see my hand on his dirty door handle. It was the moment of truth. And then we suddenly started to speed up. Thank God, out of those woods. Odd how these memories have come back to me as I write this. Some memories I'm not certain of, like, did he say he had to hit one girlfriend with a shovel because she attacked him and would not be quiet and leave him in peace? Did he really explain the two backpacks on the back seat? Did I not hear that on purpose? Did I later imagine those words? Did I see more passports in his glove box than the four he pulled out? Why didn't I say stop the car after the passport show? The road began to widen, and we emerged out of the dark forest into the setting sun, dark red and orange in the sky. I could hear and then see the highway now. I saw tiny houses across the highway. I had no idea where exactly I was. The Frenchman asked me if I wanted to spend the night at his house. We could eat dinner together.
What the
A
fuck?
quick film of his filthy torture chamber basement ran through my head. I politely said no, my first words spoken since the order not to speak English. I sincerely think that had I broken that command and blabbered something in the woods, my story might have had a different ending. It all came down to silence. I can be silent. Sometimes one needs to be, to contemplate the next move. Maybe one of the faces in the passports may not have been able to spring over her nature and started to talk or beg with fear. Would that have fed the killer's darkness, his evil? Who really knows? I got out at the side of the highway, and with night settling in, I watched him drive away. I never went to the police because I didn't speak French, and I thought maybe my imagination was just too damn active. I yelled something into the night sky, just wondering what the hell just happened. It was fully dark now. I was now exhausted after that little adventure, and I soon fell asleep on the side of the highway. The next morning, I was worried what the new day would bring. I looked at my hands. Am I still alive? Jump ahead 20 years, and I'm teaching a German business student English in a cafe on the boulevard in Leipzig, Germany. For whatever reason, we discuss this topic, hitchhiking, and I tell him my story. My student promptly whips out his smartphone and Googles French serial killers. Then he shows me pictures. There he was. I was shown a photo of serial killer Patrice Allegre. It was him all those years ago, me and him on that strange ride. I had never forgot his face. At that time, 1990, there was a reported serial killer leaving bodies of girls on the French roadsides and highways. He was in the midst of his killing hobby back then. I had heard about a killer on the loose. My
What
French
the
girlfriend
fuck?
told me to be careful hitchhiking back then. I've often wondered if the murdered women and other men may have been buried in those woods we passed through slowly. I now wish I had gone to the police, and have since subsequently tried. He's in jail, and they're not interested. Maybe I could have helped stop more murders back then. That's heavy on my soul. And since then, I felt the dark light in my
You,
body. Maybe the souls of the girls
you,
escaped with me, desperate to get out of the forest.
what is it with you and souls? Yeah. The third story, I can't remember what I gave it. Did I give it a rating? That was about 9.5. 10. You'd almost died in that video. Yeah, yeah, no. I don't know where the story was leading. It was like going into like some weird shit. Like, oh, he transpired and the moon came in and went out. The sun glares the serial killers. It's like, what? Like, what? But then when he said, was it a she? Yeah. She said, oh yeah, the serial killer, that was a serial, like, I found out that was a serial killer. I'm like, holy mother! That was good. That was good. I like that last one. Well, it did get a bit weird, but I don't know how you escaped. Or just glazing at him, like, and that's how you escaped? Wow. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Scary. So yeah, that was that video was called Four Disturbing True Hitchhiking Horror Stories. Damn, I got the goosebumps in that last one. I can't remember the third story. What was the third story? Oh yeah, the other girl getting yeah, that other girl, escaping from that pervert. Okay, that was about. I was gonna give that about an 8.5, 9. That was pretty bad. I was gonna go maybe a 9 because that was just eerie. But yeah, that last one was disturbing. Grandma one was pretty scary. I do think it's the least scariest. No, you know what? It's probably. Uh, they were all scary, really. The old woman. Oh, woo! Yeah, I. You can't trust old people. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Just like you can't trust children, ghost children. I don't know. No, I've got the chills. I got chills down my spine. No, they were good videos though. They were very good videos. Um, Mr. Nightmare and his jump scares. That one with the girls like, and then out of no, I blanked out, and then I'm on the grass. Boom. It's like what? Seriously? And that other guy who was a serial killer. Wow. You dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. Yeah, yeah, that was pretty bad. What else was really bad? The the old lady getting into your house, like what? She just snuck underneath the boot of your car. Oh hell no! I always go in front to the back. I always go in the back of the car. I never go in the front of the car because I always get scared. But yeah, yeah, they were very scary. The third and the second and third story though, they dodged a bullet with that other those other guys. I reckon the in the third story, the girl that was stranded, I reckon that guy was in cahoots. Cause like, what? How did that even happen? And the trucker guy, you were just luck, pure luck. But yeah, yeah. So that was my reaction. Anyway, please subscribe, turn the notification, and click the bell beside you. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.